Всем привет! Мы продолжаем прохождение игры Начало. Сейчас мы в лагере. Какова задача у меня на эту серию? Я хочу прогуляться с Винн, дабы у нее открылась уникальная способность и еще активизировался ее личный квест. Значит, что нужно сделать? Нужно просто с ней в партии походить по миру. Туда-сюда, обратно. Абсолютно не имеет значения, куда идти. Главное, чтобы Винн находилась с нами в партии. Так, Лилиана. Сразу вот так. Так, все, мы пробафались. Алистер. Винн. Да. Я ей кое-что не добавил в тактику. Хорошо, что сейчас вспомнил. Союзник. Нет, союзник. Здоровье. Меньше 60. Хранитель жизни. И да, и вот сюда. Замечательно. Ну, в общем-то, как-то так. Сохраняемся. И идем. Ну куда? Это все равно куда. Так, ну давайте сюда. Абсолютно не имеет значения, куда идти. Вот встреча. Ну, кстати, это не обязательно. Да, это именно та встреча. Это именно так. Так, сейчас быстро ловушку. Вот она, первая встреча по ее квесту.
Yes. Huh.
Благодаря которой мы узнаем некую информацию касательно Винн. Ну, точнее, не узнаем,
Yes.
но у нас появится интрига. Узнаем мы чуть позже. Так,
Going.
Винн. Винн вообще уникальная старушенция. Некоторые ее обожают, некоторые терпеть не могут. Но уникальности у нее не отнять.
I fell.
Как ты?
For a moment there, I thought it was all over.
Что кончено?
Everything. I will explain everything when we are back at camp. Now is not the time.
Так, вот. Теперь она нам в лагере пообещала что-то объяснить. Ну что ж, идем в лагерь. Задерживаться здесь не будем.
Huh.
Идем. Узнаем, что она нам хотела сказать.
I think I owe you an explanation for what happened earlier.
Так, ну вот и разговор. Да, ты меня сильно обеспокоила.
You should know that something happened to me at the tower before you came along. Remember my apprentice, Petra? She encountered a demon in the tower. It would have killed her had I not intervened. I saved her life that day, but I did not survive that encounter with the demon.
Ну, ты же здесь рядом со мной.
Let me explain fully. I engaged a very powerful demon to rescue Petra. It sapped me of all my energy and will and left me drained. It took everything I had to defeat it. And when I was done, I no longer had the strength to keep my heart beating. I remember my life ebbing away. Everything receded from me. Sound, light. I remember being enveloped in complete, impenetrable darkness. And then I sensed a presence enfolding me and cradling me, whispering quietly to me. The sensation is impossible to describe. I was being held back, firmly but gently, as a mother would a child, eager to slip from her grasp. I felt life and warmth flowing through my veins again. I began to be aware of small sounds and the discomfort of my hip pressing into the cold stone of the tower floor.
Какая изумительная история.
The Fade contains spirits both benevolent and malicious. The benevolent spirits seldom make themselves known because they want nothing from mortals, unlike the demons. It was one of these spirits that saved me. Without it, I would be dead. And it has not left me. It is with me even now, bonded to me. You see, I am supposed to be dead. It is the spirit that is keeping me in this world. And this is not the way of things. Perhaps the spirit did not expect this, but it is weakening gradually. I am living on borrowed time.
Ну, тогда распорядимся этим временем достойно.
Yes, that we will.
Так, вот мы узнали о некоем духе покровителей Винн. В общем, что с ней что-то не так, что она на самом-то деле как бы не жива, но в ней поддерживает жизнь какой-то дух. А она уже вроде как мертва. Ну, то есть почти что лич. Да. Так, Алистер,
Yes.
Лилиана
Indeed.
и Винн.
Yes.
Продолжаем поход. Так, здесь... Так, Лилиана. Вроде как все пробафались. Сейф. Так, ну куда же дальше? Ну, давайте сюда. Тут, я же говорю, тут абсолютно нет разницы, куда ходить. Кстати, может быть еще другая встреча, не связанная с заданием. Но встреча именно та. Да, это ее личное задание. Ну, не задание, это встреча, именно связанная с ним.
More darkspawn, hey?
Давайте. Сюда.
Yes. How about you then?
Так, кстати.
Going.
Один.
All right.
Все же как-то все равно, чересчур легко стало.
Never any shortage of these ones. And I'm off. Huh.
That was interesting and draining.
Что это было? Ты вызвала духа?
I called called forth the spirit that sustains me, so that it could lend us aid. I did not realize it would take this much out of me. It seemed a good idea at the time, if a little rash. I think it may have weakened the spirit a little.
Ты этим могла убить себя?
Well, that's certainly conceivable. I suppose I shouldn't be using that particular trick to entertain children at parties.
Не хочу, чтобы ты перенапрягалась.
I promise I'll be careful. And thank you. Your concern is touching.
Так, ну вот, у Винн появилось заклинание уникальное. Действительно уникальное, больше этого заклинания, насколько мне известно. Но, может быть, в каких-то модах и есть, но в официальной игре нету. Это заклинание есть только у Винн. Больше ни у кого. Ну вот. И так-то Винн, по сути, уникальный персонаж. Ну, они тут, конечно, все уникальные. Но уникальность
And I'm
именно
off.
какая-то особенная. Хотя да, и вот есть, если так взять, то по сути, если пройден этот пик солдата, да, то и так если разобраться, то и серый страж уникален. Тоже таких заклинаний больше ни у кого нет. Вот. Так что как-то так. Так, сохранимся. Все мы здесь собрали. Вот больше нам ничего здесь делать не нужно. Продолжаем свой поход. Мгм. Ну а теперь нам надо вернуться в лагерь и поговорить с Винн. Опять поговорить с Винн. Дабы получить ее личное задание. Так, ну, разговариваем.
What's on your mind?
Почему дух решил помочь тебе?
I have always had an affinity for the spirits of the Fade. As a child, I never feared my dreams because I knew they were there.
Так. А как насчет демонов?
I could sense the demons, too, and their presence frightened me. It was the kindly spirits of the Fade that took the fear from me. I've always been able to feel the spirits, even if I never saw them. And as I nurtured my talent in the circle, I became more sensitive. I began to notice every time I was in the Fade, whether it was in a dream or in magical practice, that I was being watched.
Духи часто так наблюдают за людьми?
I suppose they must. It is these benevolent spirits that create our dream worlds in the Fade. Sometimes I would see it, a glowing, nebulous form. Most times I would just feel its presence, gentle and comforting, but somehow alien. I think it is a spirit of faith. They have never been seen before, and perhaps I am wrong. But something tells me I'm not. It always felt like the same entity. This one spirit was curious about me and was guarding me, for want of a better word.
Тебе очень повезло.
There were times when I was in the Fade that it seemed to stretch forth to shield me, keeping me safe. And I think it gave me strength in my most terrible battles, Ostagar being one of them.
Стало быть, этот дух веры твой личный защитник?
I don't know why I was chosen. Perhaps it knew that there was something more that lay in store for me. I like to think that I was given a rare chance, and I'm going to make the best of the time so generously given to me.
Я рад, что ты считаешь путешествие со мной достойной тратой своего драгоценного времени.
I will not lie motionless in a bed with coverlets up to my chin, waiting for death to claim me. That is not the death for me. And so I will fight alongside the Grey Warden and help prepare him for the task that is yet before him. So you had better listen to me, because I swear, if I should fall before the end and you don't seem to be doing things properly, I'll get up again to give you a good finger wagging.
Ловлю на слове.
You know, I think you'll be all right, even without my help.
Сохраняемся. Продолжаем с ней говорить.
What's on your mind?
Вот, что мы можем сделать, чтобы исцелить тебя?
Cure me? What, am I sick now?
Ты немного мертва.
Even you know that you cannot cure the dead. And I'm not the only one dying. You are too. I'm just more efficient about it. Ah, child, your concern is heartwarming. But death comes to everyone, and it is not something to fear.
Ты не боишься?
People fear not death, but having life taken from them. Many waste the life given to them, occupying themselves with things that do not matter. When the end comes, they say they did not have time enough to spend with loved ones, to fulfill dreams, to go on adventures they only talked about. But why should you fear death if you are happy with the life you have led? If you can look back on everything and say, yes, I am content, it is enough.
Ты довольна?
I think I've led a good life, a full life, and I, for one, am not afraid of death, whatever it may bring. They say that when you die, your spirit travels through the Fade and returns to the Maker. And after that, we'll see, won't we?
Так, ну, продолжаем с ней говорить. Это еще не конец.
What's on your mind?
А вот теперь и ее квест. Ты вообще хоть о чем-нибудь сожалеешь?
I try not to dwell too much on the mistakes of my past, of which there are many. I would go quite mad if I did that. But I do have one regret. The greatest misstep of my life, made even more grave because it had dire consequences for someone else.
И что ты сделала?
Years ago, I was assigned as mentor to a lad, Anarin. He was my first apprentice. Anarin was an elf, raised in one of the elven alienages, and he was very mistrustful of humans, especially humans in authority.
Но маги обращаются с людьми и эльфами одинаково.
All he knew of the humans was what he had seen in the alienage. He was very wary of us. What Anarin needed was time. Time to get used to his new home. Time to emerge from his shell so we could build a rapport. I gave him no such time. I was young and arrogant. He is a mage, I thought. He needs to grow up and act like one. I expected too much from him too quickly. I gave no consideration to his origin or his feelings, and he retreated further from me. All I could think of was how stubborn he was, how he was throwing away all his talent and his potential just to be difficult.
А что он думал о тебе?
Oh, I dread to think. I was a harsh taskmistress. He might have thought I was a demon in disguise. You cannot plant crops in the cold, wintry ground. You cannot teach a student who is closed off and unresponsive. Patience is what is needed, and I learned that too late to help him.
Что произошло с Анейрином?
Anarin ran away from the circle one night. I had berated him over some trivial, ridiculous matter that I no longer remember. I drove him away because of something utterly unimportant. He was a child, 14 at the time of his leaving. They had his phylactery, and they hunted him down.
Амулет?
The phylactery is a vial of blood taken from a mage. But blood is connected to life, and your blood can be used to track you down. They called him Maleficar, a mage who practices forbidden magic, deserving of death. He was a child, misunderstood and lost. I begged the Templars to tell me if he suffered, if they gave him a quick death. I got no answers from them. I was his mentor, and they wouldn't even tell me what became of him.
Это не твоя вина.
I should have known better. I had the best mentors. They were kind, compassionate. Why didn't I learn from them? I failed in Aaron. All I had to do was listen to him. He would try to talk to me, and I would tell him to concentrate on his spells. He talked about the alienage sometimes, and the Dalish. He always talked about looking for the Dalish elves.
Быть может, он их и нашел.
The Templars are well trained and thorough. That he still lives, it would be a vain hope. The apprentices that came after Anarin benefited greatly from the lessons I learned from him. In a sense, he was my teacher, and I his student.
Так, ну, давайте так. Видишь, во всем этом есть и светлая сторона.
And there it is. My story, my one greatest regret.
Так, ну вот. Вот задание Винн. Личное. Ну что, давайте на этот раз с вами попрощаемся. Всем спасибо за просмотр. Удачно провести время. До новых встреч.